Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. It's Si here from Si Moto Photo, and this week I bring you the Triumph Tiger 660 Sport. This is a bike I've been looking forward to taking out and reviewing, based on the fact that the bike's won the Motorcycle News overall Bike of the Year last year, which is a fine accolade for a bike to win. So we get lots of people in the shop asking about this bike, and believe it or not, I've actually never ridden it. So I want to take it out today and I want to put it through its paces on our cold West of Scotland winter roads. I want to see what it's like, what it handles like, and we'll do a little stop and sort of walk round in the bike, and I'll point out the sort of key features and things on the bike. So come on, let's go for a ride and we'll see what it's all about. So the seat's really comfortable in the bike, it's quite sculpted out, so you fit right in the bike. You feel as if you're sitting in this bike rather than on top of the bike, and the pillion seat on it's quite high up. It's a one-piece seat and the pillion seat's raised at the back. I'll do a little walk around the bike and I'll let you see the different features on the bike later on, but the seat is very comfortable. It's quite a neutral seating position. Your legs aren't, they're ever so slightly back, your feet from under your knees, so you're not sitting bolt upright like you would be sitting in the toilet with your legs blown open in the wind. You feel as if you can really get a grip of the tank with your knees on it. The levers I've got a really positive feel about them. The clutch lever's got a real sort of, it's got a nice biting point. It's towards the end of the stroke, but it's nice. It's just nice. You've got two modes on the bike. You've got a rain mode and you've got a road mode. I've got it set in road mode. Obviously the roads are quite dry, so I'm just going to nip past this chappie on the tractor. You've got an adjustable brake lever on it, so you can adjust the span of the brake lever just to suit your hands. If your hands are large or small, you can get a good range of adjustment with the brake lever. But one thing that this bike is running on Michelin Road 5 tyres, and anybody that watches the channel will know I'm a big fan of Michelin tyres. They're just these, it's February in Scotland, the roads are stone cold, it's probably touching 3 or 4 degrees today, but the tyres are just magnificent. And this little bike, it just handles a dream. It's such a neutral, it's a neutral handling bike. It's got an 80 brake horsepower engine in it, and it's the standard traditional Triumph triple configuration, and it's got that Triumph whine that we all love, but it's got bundles of grunt. It's fantastic. I was talking recently to a chap who has, he's ordered one of these bikes, and he's put the restrictor kit on it because he's not done his full test yet, so he's put the restrictor kit on it. But the beauty with that is you're getting all the creamy torque. You're just sacrificing the top end. It's marvellous. It's a great way to go, and it's not expensive to stick a restrictor kit on these. And then once you've got your licence, we just remove it. Really simple. We're heading to Moscow. This is a great bike for anyone that's relatively new to motorcycling, and they want a really kind of functional bike, a bike that you can do lots with. There's luggage options for it, full luggage options for it, and let me tell you, they're really good quality. Hard panniers, there's lugs in the side of the bike. I'll point them out to you when we stop, and the hard cases just fit straight into it, and you can get a top box load carrier and a top box for it, so you can go full on touring with this bike, no problem. But does it just suit someone new to biking? No, it doesn't. It suits everyone, this bike. That's why it's such high accolades. It's such a versatile bike. I've had my licence for 16, 17 years now, and this bike's great fun. I'm finding this great fun to ride. I don't feel it's underpowered, and I thought I would, but I don't. Again, I hark back to that, what I always say, the top ends in bikes that blast you into oblivion, they're becoming irrelevant. You're wanting a motorcycle that's got the power where You can feel it, you can enjoy it. You know, it's got the mid-range drive that just makes it fun to ride, and this has got it in abundance. And because it's that traditional smooth Triumph triple engine, it's creamy smooth, butter smooth, such a gorgeous bike to ride. And tipping it into a corner, it's just a dream. You know, I've got to ask myself, what would this be like as an everyday bike? Could you have this as your only bike and your everyday bike? And I definitely think you could, because the bike is, you know, you could commute on it no problem, you could tour on it no problem, and you could do a bit of scratching on it as well. It's I can't tell you how nice this is to corner. I love it. Great bike to ride. So here it is in all its glory, the Tiger 660 Sport. I'm going to take you around and show you sort of some of the features on this bike and point out some of the key you know, differentiators between this and other bikes out in the market. The bike is a liquid cooled 12 valve DOHC inline 660cc engine. It's got a 74mm bore and a 51mm stroke, 80 brake horsepower, 81 PS but 80 brake horsepower. The good thing about this bike is it's got 64 Newton meters of torque coming out of that glorious inline traditional triple engine that's got that, you know, the whine that we all love. You know, you've got your 3-in-1 stainless silencer at the back of the bike, and you know it's tucked away underneath there, and it actually looks quite tidy. Some of these standard OEM exhaust systems can look horrific, but it actually sort of suits the bike. It's tucked way up underneath the chassis and in underneath the swing arm on the bike, so it doesn't look really out of place on the bike. It's got, you know, twin-sided fabricated steel frame on the bike, and it's cast aluminium front wheel and back wheel, 17-inch. The front tyre on the bike's 120 by 70 by 17, and the back tyres are 180/55, so there's plenty of rubber for your contact patch in the back of the bike for touching down on the road. The forks on the bike are real high quality Showa 41mm upside down forks. They're not adjustable, but I'm a big lad, I'm 17.5 stone. I've been riding this bike about today and I certainly haven't felt as if the bike's been underdamped for me. At the back of the bike there's a Showa monoshock RSU. And at the front brakes you've got Nissan 2-piston sliding calipers, and the rear brakes you've got your single piston Nissan caliper as well. And your little TFT dash has got, you know, it's fairly basic, but it's got all the stuff that you'll need. You can see it very clearly on the bike, and it's got, you know, a really clear tacho on it as well, and more importantly it's got a fuel gauge to keep you right for what, you know, what fuel's in the bike. The seat height in the bike's 835mm, although you can get a lower seat which will reduce it by about 20mm for you. The rake of the bike's 23 degrees and the trail's 97, and the tank is a 17.2 litre tank in this bike, which will give you plenty of miles. You know, I guess I've not ran the full tank out yet, but I think you'll get somewhere between 150 to 200 miles out of this tank. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, you guys that actually own the bike and you're living with it in the real world, because, you know, it's all fine and well when you read off of manufacturers' charts, but until you're actually living with the bike and running it and doing your thing with the bike, is when you really find out what the you know, what the fuel consumption is like on the bike. The wet weight of the bike's 206 kilograms, and the bike, although it's not got adjustable front forks, the back shock on the bike has got a little preload adjuster, and you can use it with your hand. Just twist it. It's very easy to adjust. Just spin the rear pre-adjuster, and it'll set the bike up for you. It's lovely. Instrument cluster that's on the bike. You've got some buttons for flicking through the menu. You've got a little mode dial in here as well, and you've got your indicators all in this left-hand stalk, and you've got your light flash there as well. And on the right-hand side, you've got a kill switch. A really well laid out bike and a really good looking bike. It comes in 3 colours. The bike, you get it in either red, blue, or you get it in a dark grey colour. I don't know what one's my favourite. We had somebody at the shop the other day ordered the grey one, and we've seen that one in the flesh. It was really, really nice. The bike comes in at 8,945, and it's an extra £100 if you want this lovely red paint finish on the bike as well. So that's the bike. Right, so disclaimer, the bike did make it to Moscow, but it's not Moscow, Russia. It's Moscow and Ayrshire in Scotland. I'm not going to Moscow. Too cold at this time of year. It's cold enough in Scotland, never mind Moscow and Russia. So on the motorway at speed, the bike is actually quite a pleasant place to be. You've got lots of wind protection at the front with this half fairing on it, and the screen is adjustable, so if you put it in the down position you're quite exposed to the elements. You can feel the wind hitting you round about your neck, the very top of your chest and your neck. It's smoother though, your head's not bouncing about all over the place. When you pull the screen up though, it does a real good job of deflecting the wind over your head. And that in combination with a quite wide front on it, you know, it does make a good difference. The wing mirrors on it, I don't find them vibey at all. I can see behind me really well, and because of the position of the bars, because of where they're sitting, you've got really good visibility with the mirrors. My elbows aren't in the mirrors at all, if you can see that in the mirror. Very, very near corner of the mirror there's a little bit of my elbow, but it's not obstructing the view at all. Really nice to sit. 70 miles an hour, not a problem at all. I tell you what it does need though, a set of handguards and a set of heated grips. It's not expensive to put heated grips on it, and you know, but I suppose if you're not doing much riding about in the winter months, it probably wouldn't be that bad, but I like to get the bike out all year round, so the first investment I would put on it would be a set of handguards and a set of heated grips, because they just make all the difference. So that was an interesting day. The Tiger 660 Sport. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, you're damn right I did. It was a really, really nice bike to ride. The seats, this sculpted seat, you just fit right in the seat. It kind of almost corsets your buttocks. It's lovely sitting in the bike. You feel as if you're planted right in the bike when you're riding this bike. The levers have got a really positive feel, and you've got quite a neutral sitting position when you're on the bike as well. That triple engine though is just amazing. At 80 newton meters, 80 brake horsepower and 64 newton meters of torque. It's just a dream. It really is. It's a great bike as an all-rounder. You could do, you know, as I mentioned in the ride that I was on, you could do some touring on it. You could do some commuting on it, and you could do some scratching on it as well. It really is a great all-rounder, and it's absolutely no wonder that it scooped that award from MCN last year as the 2022 Bike of the Year. But there you have it. The Tiger 660 Sport. Thanks again for tuning into the channel. Please like and drop a comment in the video if I've got any of the spec and anything like that wrong on it, and if there's anything you would like to see me review. I've got access to Triumphs and Harley Davidsons, and anything that you guys would like to see me reviewing, stick it in the comments and I'll try and get around to it as soon as I can and get it uploaded to the channel. But thanks again everyone, thanks for tuning in, take it easy.